let's SmackDown right now runs on a specific frequency. When it is serious, it makes somewhat real booking decisions that are important. When it gets goofy, and it will get goofy this episode, it does not just dip a toe into goofy, it cannonballs into the damn pool wearing a costume and then holds it as an in memoriam graphic afterwards. And I mean that literally right now when it comes to this show this week. So the question I'm asking for this entire segment is this variety, or is WWE Creative 3 browser tabs away from complete freaking chaos right now? I will let you be the judge. Let's get to it. Welcome to the T-Drop. Strong brew, no soft behavior. We're going through the 3 top moments, in my opinion, for SmackDown this week. And we will start with the honorable mention of the week. Shocker. Cody is an honorable mention. Yeah, that's right. For me, it is. The honorable mention is Cody Rhodes gets cleared, medically cleared. Ricky Saints arrives, and Gunther sends a message. 3 things happen in this opening block, or at least this storyline related with Cody. Each one equally important. Put them together, and it was one of the most efficient television SmackDowns has done in a few months. First, Cody Rhodes, he opens the show, still showing the damage by the Shiner, the wear from WrestleMania, but he walked out with the champion-style presence that he always does, announced he was medically cleared for action after speaking with the medical staff that night and Nick Aldis. And then the music hits for someone new. Ricky Saints, formerly Ricky Starks in AEW. And I want you to pay attention to that one specific detail here because the positioning of a debut tells you everything. This was not a random backstage walk by. This was a quiet debut of Ricky Saints. This was a man walking directly into the ring while the WWE champion was standing in it. That is a statement about how WWE wants this person to be perceived. That's his positioning. It's also could be that they're friends from AEW. That could be also true. You tell me. First impression is always what matters when it comes to these people. Saints crowd reaction though was mild. It wasn't at all crazy, massive, or anything. It was just mid. And here's what I want to say about that. It's okay for now. This crowd did not know Ricky Saints yet. Maybe they don't watch NXT religiously. This was a WWE Smack crowd meeting a new character for the first time. You do not get a Sami Zayn reaction on day one. So we'll see what the weeks come by. If it keeps after a few weeks, then we have a problem, guys. But here's what Ricky did with that mild reaction. He leaned into it. He told the crowd they boo what they do not understand. He introduced himself. He said he and Cody are not strangers. He talked about revolution. He called it Friday Night Saints. Okay. And most importantly, he did not come out acting like he was happy to be there. He came out acting like SmackDown was lucky to have him. That is the right attitude for a heel character. I actually enjoy that. That is the correct character read that you can have on a debut. Cody asked the right question back. What is different now from the last time Ricky Saints stepped to him? Nice callback to previous eras. And it's simple. Acknowledging history without requiring documents of the indie wrestling lore or AEW. Saints answer by pointing at Cody's current condition. The staples, the busted eye, the wear, the title reigns adding up. He was essentially saying, the version of you that handled me before is being worn down. I am watching you become vulnerable. Cody accepted a match with him. Babyface champion style, you want me? I am easy to find, but I am hard to beat. The match, although, later on in the night, the result was going to be obvious. Cody is the champion who just got cleared. Ricky is the debut. Crossroads, Cody wins. But here's the real question. Did Ricky look like he belonged? Based on that match, he seems so. He controlled a good portion of that match. He worked on Cody's vulnerabilities. He went after the eye. He showed confidence throughout the match. He hit offense. He got near falls. He did not feel like a random challenger getting steamrolled. Ricky did lose, but he was not used. He got time. He got character moments. He looked comfortable across from the main champ of that show. That is a win for a debut presentation, regardless of winning or losing. Regardless, though, even after all after this, we get, when it could have been a complete moment for Cody, Gunther appears. And Gunther does not come out for a cute little stare down. Gunther does not talk in circles. Gunther puts Cody Rhodes in a sleeper. He holds the WWE Championship over his body, and the visual says everything that needs to be said without a single word. I am not interested in your story, Cody. I am interested in that title. That natural contrast is clean. Cody is emotion. Gunther is violence with discipline. Cody is the storybook champion. Gunther is the final exam. That opening block introduced Ricky Saints, gave Cody a strong return, protected Cody while letting Ricky look credible, and sent Gunther as the next serious threat for Cody Rhodes. All in one story in the show. That's some decent television storytelling, in my opinion. WWE doesn't always gives us that. But when they do, we need to give it some recognition, even though it wasn't the greatest thing. So we move on to the most surreal part of the show. Sami Zayn and the Ginger. Yeah, this is real. This happened on national television in the year of our Lord 2026. And I am going to genuinely try to give this a fair thought. Sami Zayn came out for a promo. They brought up before he came out the Gingerbread Man costume, and they stood him in the middle of the ring. And the promo itself actually made sense from a character standpoint. And let me break down and explain. Sami opened with local references of the town, Bob Dylan, the misunderstood artist, positioning himself as someone who evolved, who changed, who grew, and the fans turned on him. He said the reactions do not bother him. The disrespect bothers him. He said he gave this crowd everything, and now they want to replace him with Trick Williams, someone who in Sami's mind is presenting without any substance. Entrance, dance moves, a chant. He sees it as shallow. And the Gingerbread Man, Sami sees it as Trick mocking him. Trick not taking him seriously. Disrespect in costume form. So he stops himself. He actually shakes the hand of the Gingerbread Man. He has a moment of restraint, a pause, and then he takes the Gingerbread Man to another dimension, shall we say, Dragon Ball Z style. He mounted punches, tears the costume apart. He pulls one of the damn gumdrop buttons. None of the buttons were safe. The baked good did not survive this encounter. Out of nowhere, Trick Williams shows up. He tries to attack Sami. Sami slipped the trick shot and retreated away. Trick, comically, then threw up the X or the costume being destroyed. Like we had just witnessed a serious medical emergency. And I need you to hear this. If you ever come to my channel and watch some of my videos, WWE, I need you to hear this. You guys showed an in memoriam graphic for the Gingerbread Man. A freaking graphic. In memory of a baked good. So I promise, I guess I would be fair. So here it is. Here it is. One, Sami's motivation made sense. He feels mocked. He overreacted in the most Sami Zayn way possible. The character logic tracked, and this will absolutely get clipped online. It is online at this point. It will create conversation for the next couple of weeks, or at least for the week leading to Backlash. It will potentially bring in viewers who otherwise would never watch SmackDown because they saw a wrestling man attack a Gingerbread Man on social media. In the attention economy, maybe this has real value. Now, another point Trick Williams' side felt a little off. The backstage segment with Kathy, the doctor, announcing the Gingerbread Man did not make it. Trick saying nobody touches the Gingerbread Man, nobody messes with Trick's money. That tonal landing, it was a little uneven. Not every piece of this segment worked from both sides of the feud, but it is what it is. Here's the feud I actually want out of this, though. Veteran bitterness versus new star confidence. Sami built the lane, Trick is running in it and getting credit for the pavement. That's the real story when it comes to these two. That's a story that you can sink your teeth into. The Gingerbread Man can be the viral entry point for this feud, but it cannot be the whole shebang or the whole meal for this. For this to matter at Backlash, Trick Williams needs to sharpen the emotional side, prove he is more than presentation, prove the chant and the entrance are backed by substance in the ring and in the promo. Because if Trick is just the guy who had a gingerbread man and not the guy who had a gingerbread man and then went to prove Sami wrong, then the whole thing deflates the moment it gets serious. Wrestling genius or creative chaos. I genuinely cannot fully tell you yet. Ask me after Backlash though. We'll talk about it next week. Moment number 2, Damian Priest and R-Truth retains the WWE Tag Team title. This pairing is more fun than it has any right to, and I want to be honest about why. Because understanding why it works tells you something important about tag team wrestling. Damian Priest is the cool guy. He has main event aura, or used to at least. He brings structure. R-Truth lives in his own freaking universe at this point. He brings chaos, wildcardness. He makes Priest look like the exhausted older brother who loves his sibling but cannot understand a single decision they make. And that dynamic works because Priest plays the straight man to Truth's nonsense with complete commitment. Before the match, though, Truth was talking to Fraxium, Nathan Frazier, and Axiom, and calling them Los Americanos. The fact that he can still not tell the difference is crazy. Anyway, they were apparently discussing taxes, even though tax season was 2 weeks done already. Regardless, Priest assumed Truth was setting up a title defense. Fraxium accepted before Truth fully understood what was happening, and somehow that led to a title match. The styles in this match were genuinely interesting. Fraxium brought the speed, the timing, the precision, and high output offense that they always do. Priest and Truth brought size, chaos, and personality. Fraxium showed why people are high on them. The flying was great. The double team combination moves worked. The catapult to Inferno near fall landed. They got enough offense to remind the audience why they matter, which is important right now because we have barely any tag team in the men division right now, and they are needed right now. So please give these people some high level caliber now. But the finish, Truth hits a Cena-style offense, as he always does now. Priest makes the save, drags Truth into a position for the tag, then cleans house, pounce, south of Haven, Razor's Edge, champions retain. Now here's the part I want you to pay attention to because it goes beyond the match. Solo and Tala, the Bloodline Shadow, MFTs, whatever they are now since 2 of their people are gone. SmackDown always had the Bloodline hanging over it. Always. And the question is, can a tag title story breathe without getting swallowed by that damn universe? If Priest and Truth got pulled into a Bloodline orbit like before, these other groups, if their championship reign becomes a prop in someone else's family drama or Bloodline drama or whatever, that is a creative failure for the tag division. But if Solo and Tala bring danger into the picture without making it exclusively about the Bloodline or MFTs or whatever they're called now, if Priest and Truth still feel like champions and not set pieces, then it can work. WWE has to make a choice here though, and the choice will tell you or tell us how serious they are about building the tag division and the tag titles into something that carries a weight of its own in SmackDown. They lost a lot of great contenders in the men's tag division. They need to rebuild it. Now, what can be option number 1 for me? Moment number 1, Jacy Jayne defeats Charlotte Flair. A women's match. Yes, I'm high on Fatal Influence ever since their debut on SmackDown. I'm digging it. I'm digging fresh heels. I love heels. I love it. It gives people something to fight against and give story. And hopefully they do it right and don't make Fatal Influence look like clowns. So we'll see. This is perhaps the biggest result of the show, and I want to give it the context it deserves because the discourse around this result missed what actually is important. Jacy Jayne came out with Fatal Influence. Fallon Henley and Lena Reed. They cut a promo promise to embarrassing a legend. The heat from the crowd was real, and I love every moment of that. In the match itself, what you expect from Charlotte. The chops, the condescension, the clean break with a smirk, the kick up, the strut, the moonsault, the figure 8 attempt. Charlotte is Charlotte. And that matters for Jacy because the best thing that can happen to young talent being featured in a match against a legend is that the legend is fully present and fully being themselves. Charlotte carried herself like a star, as she always does, every second of the match. And Jacy did not look out of place. That was the test for her. Some people pass it, some people drown. That's to the level of performer. Jacy didn't drown. Was her control work that the strongest it could be? No, of course not. Were some transitions rough? Absolutely, but she belonged in the match. She passed the test that matters most for a debut presentation. The finish, Jacy clips Charlotte's knee, Charlotte fights back. She gets the figure eight. Fallon Henley yanks her free behind the referee's back. Alexa Bliss, Fallon, and Lainey Reed all get involved. Chaos breaks out. Jacy hits the rolling encore 1, 2, 3. Jacy wins. Jacy beats Charlotte. Now, I know what some of you are going to say. The interference softens the win. And you are not wrong. That interference was involved. But let me push it back on the framing. The record book does not say Jacy Jayne defeated Charlotte Flair, but please note that there's an interference, so reduce the value by 32%. No. It says she beat Charlotte. And the point of Fatal Influence is not that Jacy Jayne honorably out-wrestles legends in fair competition. The point is that Fatal Influence creates numbers, chaos, pressure, and opportunity. And Jacy exploits it. That is the character she is. That is the faction. A dirty win is not a flaw in the heel playbook. It is the heel playbook. And then Rhea Ripley came out to even the odds after the match. Pay attention to that because Rhea Ripley being involved tells you something important. Fatal Influence is not being treated like a throwaway act. Rhea ran down, laid people out. Jacy escaped the riptide, shoved Rhea towards Charlotte, and they didn't collide. And then Rhea and Charlotte briefly shook hands. That handshake, it's interesting because it says Fatal Influence is enough of a problem to make Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair, two people who have no natural alliance, briefly stand on the same side. That is how you know a faction is working, when the heroes have to look at each other and say, not right now, let's deal with this first. So when it comes to this, here's where I stand. The win only means something if WWE follows through with it. If Jacy Jayne beats Charlotte Flair and then drifts into random 6 women tag matches with no direction, this was just a moment. But if Jacy Jayne beats Charlotte Flair and Fatal Influence starts becoming a real headache for the entire SmackDown women's division, then this is the beginning of something great. So far, the bones are good. The foundation is good, whatever version you want to use. The vote of confidence looks seemingly real. Now that he has to trust it long enough to see what it becomes. SmackDown this week was serious, somewhat booking, still not the greatest show. Had some smart decisions throughout and had some absolute nonsense, sometimes in the same hour. Jacy beat Charlotte, that's great. Gunther choked out Cody, we'll see what that means down the line. Ricky Saints looked like he belonged in SmackDown. And somewhere in the catering room, there's a memoriam graphic for a gingerbread man that Sami Zayn sent to another DBZ dimension. Is this variety? Yeah, it is something that we can sometimes say it's chaos. Also, yeah, when it comes to this one thing is that the serious stuff was serious enough to carry the chaos and let the other stuff be whatever it is. For now, SmackDown lives another week. Let me know your thoughts about this week's SmackDown. Did it hit the way you thought it hit, or did it miss completely? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one.